Hey everybody, Beyond You 89 here, bringing you another episode of Coal Creek Park, where today we are going to be doing something I did in a previous episode. We're going to kind of do a quote-unquote live walkthrough of the park. Reason being is I tweeted this out earlier today, but I have about 4 or 5 different projects in Coal Creek Park that are on their way to being finished, mostly finished, kind of finished, not even a thing. Yeah, it's I've been spreading myself thin, and that's definitely a factor of my high ADHD. I'm sure some of you can relate, but I'll get working on one project. I might have mentioned this in previous videos, but I'll get working on one project, and then halfway through it I'll just be like, but I want to do this too. So up until now in the park, I've been really good about pretty much focusing on one project at a time and getting it done. But for whatever reason this week, I was just kind of mentally all over the place, and that kind of probably shows in my work as well. So instead of going absent for what would have been probably a few weeks to upwards of a month or so, kind of honing everything in, I thought I would kind of just walk around the different areas that I'm working on and show off what I'm doing, what my ideas are for the areas, but then I also want to get your ideas. Not that I have run out of ideas, nowhere near, and we'll get into that, where I kind of had a resurgence for Coal Creek Park as far as ideas go. But I just would like to get your guys' input and see, you know, maybe you don't own the game and you've always wanted to see X thing inside of a theme park, or, you know, maybe you've been watching the series and you've, you know, been itching to have this inside this theme park because you think it'll fit perfectly. So yeah, so with that being said, you know, we'll just kind of start walking around here. I'll kind of show off all the new fun stuff, and again, please you know, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking, what direction you think we should go in with some of these areas, and yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. So let's go ahead and get going. And actually, one of the new things that's super subtle, and you probably can't even really tell, but one of the things I wanted to put in is this little strip of, I know it's hard to tell because we're in Tejicam, but again, if you know me or have been watching this series at all, you know that I like to do everything from guest perspective. So this will look a little weird probably from guest perspective here, but this is a little peninsula into an island with these really tall trees. I mean, the tallest trees you can get in the game, basically, propped up on an island here. And yeah, I found this footage, this image I should say, on Google there. And this was very common in the backwoods, and I've seen this before in real life, where yeah, you'll get these clumps of these islands in the middle of these lakes or rivers with these ginormous trees in them. And, you know, for whatever reason, they've just been able to thrive on these islands. So I just kind of want to make something similar to that, and I'm pretty much done except for the back, so I don't mind that. So that's kind of the idea there. I know it's something really subtle, nothing, you know, you might not even bet your eye at, but for me, I kind of love nature and designing nature things. So for me, that was kind of like cool. I finally, you know, was able to do that in the park. So let's go ahead and turn around though. If we were to go that way, that'd go to the rock slide bolter, or the slide rock bolter, because I never remember what it's called, so I switch the words around all the time. But let's head up to the area where the chair swing was put originally, because it's probably where I got most of the work done. And you know, real quick, just because I'm just realizing I am familiar with how things are going in the park layout wise, but you guys are not. So let me just give you an overhead before we do that. So we just started here, made our way down that way, and that's where the little peninsula was. So I just wanted to get you guys bearings before we keep going. We are going this way though, out that way. So don't look up there. There's some other stuff I haven't completed yet. But yeah, I just wanted to get you guys bearings there. Let's head your cam back in and keep it going. Bless you. There we go. Now it looks pretty, right? So alrighty, here we go. So yeah, this is the chair swing area here. Go ahead and add it in a little donuts and cider shop. I've been having the donut cider kick lately. It's, you know, November, no, it's December now, and here in the Midwest, apple cider donuts are a huge thing. I'm sure many other places as well, but yeah, I just had to kick, so I figured, hey, let's put in our little apple cider donut place there. And then, yes, here we are, just kind of overlooking our area, different little scenery items. And that's funny, I forgot to take that out. That's really funny. I was almost like kind of halfway making fun of how big that was, and I forgot to take that out. And then we put a little backstage area for our, nothing too substantial, but just a few props lying around in the back here. And again, to kind of give a little bit more bearing, that is the walkway to get into the park. So we are right up against the park boundary here. And then we have the Coal Swinger is what I decided to name this. It's not based off anything. I was just like, Coal Creek Park. It's a swinging ride, you know, Cherry Swift ride, Coal Swinger. And yeah, I built this bridge here. We definitely wanted to have an almost interacting bridge with the queue line. We'll just walk through it real quick. Nothing spectacular or anything, but again, well, it's great. It got popular. Yeah, I just thought it would be fun to have, you know, a little interaction between the path down there and the queue line up here. And yeah, well, we're not going to spend too much time on the chair swing there. But yeah, the exit goes ahead and, sorry if I'm going too quick here. I just know there's a little bit I want to get covered today. I don't want to have a too long of an episode for you. But yeah, it spits you back out kind of where you first enter this area. So we'll go ahead and, excuse me, wrap ourselves back around. Anyone want a donut? Now's your last chance. And really, it put me on a roof. He does that a lot. What the hell? And it's great because whenever you get on the roof, you know, it treats you as if you're like a person. So it's like, yeah, a person would be able to get off this roof. No way. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to more, or no, not more, less completed areas. And you can kind of start to see here the new ride that we put in. I did promise a log flume. I don't know if I promised I'd complete it. I got the layout in pretty much, and the queue layout. We're not gonna ride it because it's boring as crap right now. And anyone that has ridden your unthemed log ride in this game knows what I'm talking about. They're, you know, it's gonna be like a dark ride log flume. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try my hand at a dark ride. But yeah, this in front of you, believe it or not, is what took me the most. Not the ship. No. The ship was Wings and Strings all day. Links for his stuff down below. Like, oh my gosh, this dude, or dudette, sorry. Yeah, they're going to be featured in the most recent Bro Coaster, which should be coming out this weekend. And I'm just so excited to see what they've cooked up because the stuff he's made is just jaw-dropping. Pretty much the way that he's been able to get this. So again, please go follow him on the workshop, download all of his stuff. Like, oh my gosh. So, but this building is me. And I know you're probably looking at this and being like, well, why would that take you a long time? Because this took me a long time and I'm not even done with it. And you kind of see right here with all the Z funding, I've been pretty much trying to build a scale as far as between like the peep scale, the whole game. For this park, but I really took a deep dive, and it's a lot to thank to this guy. Wings and Strings gave me a great recommendation on YouTube to look up model train set scenes. They are pretty much perfect for Planet Coaster. I can't stress how perfect these scenes are to recreate. They put little model figures in them, what have you, and it's just, you can build off of it and really get your scale really nicely. So that's this was pretty much, I tried to recreate it, and just trying to get it to scale. It was very finicky to get it where I wanted it. Each piece had to be moved. it was a lot. I used the 1 meter building grid, so yeah, it was a lot. It was my first time really going into a deep dive of a recreation to scale build. So yeah, that took me a while, kind of embarrassingly so, but I think, the more practice I get building to scale, the more comfortable I'll get, and hopefully they'll be quicker. So I just noticed I was kind of talking and moving at the same time. Let me go ahead and back out here, give you another layover so you can kind of see where we're at here. So we have walked this way, down this way. There's our log flume. There's the Wings and Strings boat. Oh, before I forget, I mentioned this on the old Twitter. Go ahead and follow me on the Twitter. I'm active on there and whatnot. Upload pictures, some behind the scenes pictures of Coal Creek Park. So, if you want to see what I'm doing in it, sometimes I'll upload a picture or two. But what I was getting at is with Wings and Strings here, and I'm going to show you another example, is I added this name in. Originally, he had named this the Ace of Diamonds and had that name all over the boat. Understandably so. That's how it really is. But what I wanted to touch on is giving credit where credit's due. And me being a YouTuber, knowing I'm going to upload this, I know I want to give him credit. And I just feel like putting a link down below, you know, that's pretty much 95%, like, you're good. That's awesome. Way to go. But I just think, personally, I'm kind of doing this and adding names to things that I know I didn't build in the park, so that if someone comes up here, they're going to know, like, okay, that was by Wings and Strings and stuff. So anyways, that's just my little, not rant, but just little thing. So, but anyways, yeah, here's a little layout here. Very tentative. Gonna change. You know it's gonna change. Come on. What do you expect me to actually stick with a layout? Come on. There's your log flume. Again, I think this is going to be in a mountain here and have some dark ride scenes, very much so based off of, when I was in my research, what was it? Knott's Berry Farm, right? They have, forgive me, you not Knott's Berry Farm people, tell me the name of your log flume, please. And yeah, it looked really kind of creepy, but you know, with all the animatronics, but it looks, you know, pretty much what I was kind of going for. So there you go. So that'll be a few episode thing. I'll try and focus up and get that. And this is this little layout area here. I kind of dig how again, trying to do a lot of bridge play, path play. Not entirely sure I dig on this, but you know, we'll kind of play around with it. Obviously none of this is done. And oh, big shout out to Ruble Trillions. I'm pretty sure he is the one who figured this out right here with the making the stairs. If you are not sure how to do that, it is used by taking a shop and placing it up. I guess I can just show you real quick, right? It doesn't take that much, but yeah, to get those really short stairs, you kind of do one of these, take a shop. Sorry again if some of you are like, dude, we all know this. I know, but some people might not. But you just kind of raise it up like that, and then go ahead, select the building, delete the building. He gets sad, goes home, but you're left with these great stairs here. So that's, oh, maybe he's not bummed it. He's pretty pumped. He's like, I don't have to work anymore. Woohoo! Anywho, so yeah, that's a little tip there. But other than that, guys and gals, not a whole lot was done. I added a few flat rides for placement factor, if anything. And yeah, really, this is going to be our next expansion area here. I have a few ideas for this little area here. Definitely going to take inspiration, again, from what I've found through my research through Wings and Strings recommendations of those model sets. I believe a wharf shopping district might come in here. So a waterfront wharf shopping district. Again, that's very inspired from what Wings and Strings told me to look up, or recommended to look up, and also Masked Bandits series. I can't remember the name of his park. Worst YouTuber ever. It's like I should write this stuff down, even though I know all these series. Sorry, but I'm going to link that down below. But he is starting something similar. I don't want to rip him off. Like, that's not it. He just kind of, when he's, I saw his building style for this wharf riverfront area that he's doing in his park. I was like, oh, that's kind of like what I've been trying to stumble upon to find. So, Conifer Slopes. Boom. I'm okay. Sorry, bud. But yeah, no, I don't want to rip that off at all. It's just, you know, when you're kind of, you're churning your wheels, if you were, trying to find inspiration. And yeah, he put out a most recent episode of Conifer Slopes, and they did a live stream of it, and I was just like, that's kind of the style I've been wanting to go for. I just didn't know how to wrap my tiny little head around what to call it, if you will. So anyways, look for that in the future. But other than that, guys and gals, like I was kind of getting at, here's another Wings and Strings thing I put in. That kind of wraps it up. I'm kind of making my way to backstage here to kind of show off again, kind of what I was touching on earlier. Just if you can go the extra mile for other people's creations, like, definitely I would recommend it. It's just, you know, again, if you didn't build it, give credit where credit's due. I don't know. I know the workshop's kind of a iffy area, you know, as far as content is, but, you know, if you're uploading to YouTube or streaming, what have you, give credit where credit's due. That's all I'll say on that. But here is your overhead, your overview of Coal Creek Park at the moment. I have officially had to downgrade my graphics settings to low to keep it playing at a fun rate. So I might have to go through, especially I started to over here at the Grizzly, and take out some of the rocks. Ever since the scenario editor came in, I was able to put in this alpine rock terrain, which I didn't have before because I'm dumb. And yeah, I hadn't been kind of replacing a lot of the rocks over here, so I think I went from like a 3,000+ pieces over here down to like 2,000 or so. But yeah, anyways, so again, appreciate y'all, you know, in the most recent episodes with your feedbacks, your likes, all the people subscribing and whatnot. Really appreciate y'all being on board here. And if you're brand new to this series, welcome. Glad you're here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode there. Thanks so much.